Boom. What's happening, guys? Carl Hutchinson here, your host of Digital Marketing Rockstars. I've still not got a jingle at the start, so I'm sorry about that, but I've got something better. I've got Attila Audrey here today, and if you're in affiliate marketing circles, you're bound to have heard of this guy. He posts as Attila on Stack That Money Forum, unsurprisingly, and he's also got a blog of the same name, iAmAttila.com, which is a blog about media buying and affiliate marketing. So Attila is on the line. Are you ready to do this, mate?
I am.
Cool. So Attila, start by telling us a little bit about your background and how you came across affiliate marketing in the first place.
Well, it's a pretty interesting story. So here we go. Basically, before I got into affiliate marketing, I used to organize very big dance events, like techno parties and EDM parties. And I used to do it for 4 years. So what happened was I was organizing these big rave parties in Vancouver, Canada, because I'm from Vancouver, Canada originally. And they brought a new license restriction that said that we cannot organize parties that we used to in the amount of people that we used to have, like anywhere from 1,500 to 5,000 people at one show.
Okay.
So at that moment, me and my friends that I was organizing the events with decided, okay, why don't we go to Europe? So where in Europe should we go? Serbia, because I was born in Serbia. I'm not Serbian, I'm Hungarian, but I was born in Serbia, and we went to Serbia because I had my grandparents there and lots of people that I knew. And we organized a party, and it did horrible. We lost 60,000 euros on the first one.
Is there a big rave scene in Serbia, mate?
There is, yes, but they don't have money, right? They have huge demands for huge DJs and lots of different things, but they're not willing to pay for it. But that wasn't the reason why we lost money, but this is a very, very long and complicated story, so I don't want to get into it. So anyways, after that, we tried again. Then we lost 30K, and then third time's charm, we made $10,000, but after we calculated how much time we invested, it worked out to be around half a euro per hour hourly wage. So we concluded that it's not worth it.
No. Well, so
this is where affiliate marketing came into the picture. My girlfriend then, who's now my wife actually, Dora, she said, why don't I look into what a guy named Conrad, who's the owner of Meg Bunny Media, does? So I looked into it, and that's how I discovered a forum called GFI.com, which is the most popular adult webmaster forum online.
Okay.
And to make a long story short, I discovered GFI, I started talking to people, and that's how I discovered affiliate marketing. Like, I was a SEO affiliate marketer promoting adult websites in the beginning.
So take us through that first successful website. What did that look like?
My first website, what was it? It's very strange. Like, back in the old SEO days, like 10 years ago, there was a saying that the stranger the niche, the better the ROI. Yeah. So I decided to make my first ever blog that I would later SEO about vintage and retro porn, So.
Doesn't get much weirder than retro porn.
Exactly, and I started my whole online adventure with 99 cents for $1 that I borrowed from a friend, because when I moved to Serbia, they didn't have PayPal in Serbia, and I could not load money onto my PayPal, So
what?
On GFI, I asked the guy, hey, can you lend me $1, because I'm going to buy a domain name, and I bought a domain name, and the rest is history. The blog turned out really profitable, and then I built another 5, another 10, then I hired the team, and then it went from there, and at the peak, I had like 800 blogs, all making money. So
you had like 800 blogs. Was that all related to that particular niche?
No. We had everything, like from A to Z in adult, pretty much.
Right, I see. So you saw that success and you thought, I'm going to scale this. So can you remember what your first hire was?
My first hire was actually a content writer, because all of these sites to rank need unique content. So I had to hire another guy to increase capacity, because I was writing 10,000 words per day, and that's a huge amount of text. If you write that every single day, you look mental.
Yeah, you do. And I've been in the same situation myself, mate, a long time ago. The first year I wrote everything myself. And You're right, you just go mental, but also you just, you're the bottleneck in your operation, and it stops you from scaling, and it stops you from concentrating on other higher value tasks, working on your business and not in it. And yeah, so how big did that operation get for you then with the outsourcing?
Well, this actually becomes quite interesting because in the whole process of making these blogs and these sites and becoming more involved in the adult webmaster community, I became friends with a lot of people, and they started seeing my work, and they were like, "Hey, can you write for me? Can you write for me?" So I built a copywriting company that's been in business now for 9 years, called
Really?
Content Pimp. And at the peak, I had 54 full-time writers,
Wow, that is
Yeah, it was
amazing.
crazy. Like, it was insane, like how much we were writing every day. So
And is that still running today then, Attila, or?
it is still running today, but how I switched from adult webmastering and SEO to paid media buys and mainstream, like non-adult, has to do with the whole story of how Google came out with Panda, Penguin, and made it impossible to rank any sites.
Yeah.
Like I was doing really good, and that big break came, like nothing would work. Like they were going hard after SEOs, and they killed SEOs. So I was like, I'm not going to fight the tide, if you will. I'm just going to go with it. So I decided, okay, if they are not letting me get it for free, the traffic, then I'm going to pay for it and join them, give them my money. So that's how I switched to paid advertising, and that's how I became, like a media buyer / affiliate.
Was that AdWords, Attila, or something else?
Well, no, actually, it was I became a paid media buyer the first time ever with Traffic Junkie and ExoClick.
Okay.
Running dating ads like with AdVidi in the beginning, like many, many years ago, and I didn't like it. I got sick of adult, like having been in it so many years kind of thing.
Sure.
But I wanted something else, and I joined STM forum, and back then there was another one called iAmGrind, and I saw that guys are running, like what's up offers, and they're running like mobile app install offers. I was like, sweet, I'll try this, and that's the next chapter. That's when we really went hard, and crazy and all in to mobile app installs and mobile content building offers.
You wouldn't have been alone with that, Attila. So many guys I knew in the SEO industry had just had enough of the constant updates, and they did the same as you. They looked at mobile traffic, mobile pops, banner advertising, app installs, like you say, and it was the Wild West when it come about. And forums like SDM was at the forefront of that, and people was making some huge money from that, and people still make money at it now, although the trends have changed a little bit. But yeah, how long did it take for you to see actual good money from going into mobile traffic?
Well, probably like 3 months, because I did invest, like I approached it like a business from the start.
Yeah.
And this is where a lot of people go wrong who join affiliate marketing. Like they think that it's a walk in the park, it's a money printing operation. You put in $100 and you get 1,000 back, and
Yeah.
they have unrealistic expectations because they hear someone is killing it, but they don't see behind the scenes on what they're doing to earn a crazy amount of money. So it took 3 months, but from the start, I had 2 people that I was working with. I had an assistant right away that was setting up campaigns and doing all the boring grunt work style stuff I really don't like.
Yep.
And I also had a designer, because you need designer. And this is actually a pretty funny story about the designer. When the other guys that I met on STM learned that, my designer can make landers and banners and all that stuff super fast, they started asking me, like, can you make it for me too,
Yeah.
And that's where I created the company bannerslanders.com, which today works with some of the biggest $1 million affiliates out there,
Amazing.
and has grown into a huge company kind of thing. So
Yeah. And I love how you've diversified your income further, from affiliate marketing to include agency work and banners and landers, and this has all just come out of necessity. As your business has grown, you've bolted extra things on there just to help you initially, but they've grown into these little or big money earners for you, to really help diversify that affiliate income. And Banners and Landers, I'm definitely going to have to check you guys out, because I tend to outsource my own designing stuff. I've not really got anyone in-house that helps me with that, so I'm definitely going to check you guys out.
Well, you and everybody that's listening should definitely check it out. Go and order with $40 for a landing page and $10 for a banner or a creative for Facebook, whatever. But I mean, test it out and you will see how kick-ass it is. I
Awesome.
don't need to sell it. It's one of those products that everybody in affiliate marketing calls the unicorn, so that is a product that sells itself. Once you try it, you get addicted, so it's pretty kick-ass service actually. So
that's amazing. And the landing pages that you do then is, I take it that's just the design. Do you do any copywriting with that, or?
Well, this is again an interesting story, because I'm a guy that always sees opportunity no matter where I go, So Banners Landers started out providing banners and landers, as the name says.
Yep.
But today we work with a lot of super affiliates and they own offers. So we have a division that does premium content and premium design, which is comparable to well-known design services out there. And in addition to that, Banners and Landers also provides custom premium copywriting services, where we write the copy for advertorials, offer pages, typical landing pages, or whatever else needed. Like the latest one that we're just adding right now that's not on the site yet is actually product descriptions for Shopify stores.
Wow.
And things like that, because there's a huge demand for that. So we the way Banners, Landers, and I have always been is that I talk to everybody, all the time. And when I see that there is a need, then we try and fill the gap and everybody's happy.
Yeah, that's a huge knowledge bomb there, Attila. The fact that if you can hang around with people in your industry and you can regularly speak to other guys that are doing the same work as you, then these kind of opportunities will present themselves. The other thing is, as an affiliate marketer, when you first start out, you need to be outsourcing aspects of your business, because as affiliates, we have to wear so many hats and it's impossible to do everything justice. And you need to find the things that are real time sucks, such as creating banners and ripping landers and things like that. If you can get that outsourced, that's going to give you more time to concentrate on your business.
You got to do a lot of things. You got to be jack of all trades. And that's one of the reasons why so many that start in affiliate marketing fail super fast, because as I said, they come in thinking it's a push button $100 to $1,000 system, like everybody wants that kind of, dreamy money making method, but it doesn't exist, So yeah, you do have to be jack of all trades, and not many people have it, because, designing requires you to be creative. Coding requires you to be logical and a good problem solver. Finding offers requires that you're good at research, So there's so many hats that you have to wear. And if, you're on a limited budget and you don't have the abilities to develop all these skills, then you have a very, very slim chance of being successful.
Yeah, definitely. And I touched upon that on a previous episode, actually, that you need enough budget to see you through. You need at least, I'd say 6 months budget, plus any budget for learning a traffic source on top of that if you're going down the paid traffic route rather than organic. So, while we're talking about that subject, what's the best advice that you could give to a brand new affiliate?
Well, the advice that I would give to affiliate is to fast track the learning curve. Like, definitely join something called the stm-forum.com, and get started there, build up the skills, ask what skills do I need, and then take Udemy courses, which are free or $10, and develop, a skill set level, and then get started. Or if it's a person that already has money, they just want a way to make more money, then hire a core team which has the skills that that person does not have, so that you're not at a disadvantage. Because what's happening now is when I started, for example, app installs 4 years ago or 5 years ago, now I can't remember, time flies, but back then there was no policy like trick to click. There was no misleading. Like you could write up you could make a flashing banner that says that you're infected with, I don't know, a million viruses, and run it on Google without any cloaking or any deception or nothing like that, And back then we were making ton of money. What happened in app installs is that the payouts have gone down, how much they pay for one CPI, but the restrictions have gone up. So it went in like an X, X formation, like totally in reverse. Payouts down, hardness up. Like how are you supposed to make lots of money that way? You can't.
Yep.
When we did it, then it was easy because there were no restrictions and payouts were higher. So we had a healthy margin, So that's why it's important to always have a skill set and be able to adapt so that you can, grow with the challenges and act quickly, so.
Yeah, nothing stays still for long in this game. And online marketing, it's still such a new industry when you think about it. It's not like being a doctor where, you just turn up to work every day and you're going to guarantee your paycheck. Nothing's going to change. People are always going to be sick and they're always going to need a doctor. But with online marketing, you think 13 years ago, Facebook didn't even exist. How crazy is that? And so whatever traffic source that you choose as an online marketer or an affiliate, then be aware that it's not going to stay in its same guise for long, and be aware that as marketers that we push the boundary. We're obviously trying to get sales. We're in performance marketing. We're trying to make ROI, and to do that, you've really got to push the boundaries. And traffic sources will get pressure from the FDA and the Advertising Standards Agency to clean up their act and to get rid of people that are pushing the boundaries, basically. So I would say the most crucial skill, you've got to be able to adapt quickly, and also, like you say, invest in your knowledge. Join forums. If you're in affiliate marketing, then stack that money for them. If you're just like you've got a business online, then Digital Marketer, my forum, ElitePromoter.com, will help you keep that ear to the ground and get ahead of what's working. Okay, so on that note, Attila, where would be a good place to get started right now?
A good place to get started, I would say e-commerce for sure is a good place, but then again, that is extremely competitive. Like where it's going is what I wanted to say earlier, is that you do need a team. This, like today, even if you have all the skills, you are at a disadvantage because the top guys all have teams. So that means that they can jump on something, get it up and running like really fast, versus a jack of all trades, which would take 5 days to launch something, versus a super affiliate with a team who will take just like half a day to launch something. Everything
Sure.
is like, there's this thing called first movers advantage. Like if an offer or a product, let's say a product in e-commerce, turns viral, if you're the first guy there to milk the profits, you're going to make a lot of money. But if you're a guy who saw it on a spy tool, 3 months later, then you're just going to be around to collect the breadcrumbs. Like you do have to be on top of your game. And that's why it's so hard, affiliate marketing. And now where it's heading more towards a business, like a real business. Like they used to say, like offline businesses, if they don't fail in the first 2 years, then they're going to be around forever. Affiliate online marketing, I believe, is heading in that direction too. Like there's going to be the guys, that have the right approach it like a business and stuff like that.
Sure.
And they're going to be around for a long time. And because they adapt and they change with all the changes, like Facebook, changes their algo every 3 months, and Google as well. They come with a new policy. It kills a lot of the offers. So in terms of where the industry is heading, it's towards, things that are wide, that people need, that they cannot kill off. Like people are always going to buy stuff. So e-com is always going to be around, but they're probably going to make e-com harder, because right now in e-com, people are making a fortune, running free plus shipping. Like basically you just pay for shipping. The item is free, and
it takes 3 weeks to turn up.
It takes 3 weeks, yes, but they're basically running this method, and right now it's not blocked yet. But in the future, if Facebook decides, they could say that this, model is not allowed on Facebook, and there you go, the fun ends for so many.
Yeah.
But the cold method, which I like to call the dry, non-markety way, like for example, this item is for sale, it's $89.95, buy it now, no creative ad copy, nothing, that is always going to be accepted by Facebook. Sadly, Google and Facebook all want you to market like an idiot. They basically just want you to put out the price and run ads and spend money with them, you know.
Yeah.
They do not like any of the tricks that people write about in marketing books, you know, how to write clever copy to encourage buyers, because they will say it's misleading. They will say, you know, you cannot do that, that's tricking people. And they come with all this crap, which basically goes against what marketing and marketing universities and, you know, books and other educational marketing teachers. Like, they don't like that stuff. They're always turning against it. And a lot of my affiliate marketing friends always say, yeah, Facebook and Google, they only want brands, you know, they just want like Coca-Cola to just run the ad and spend money without checking stats, you know, did it make us money or not? They just, here's $1 million, spend it for us and thank you. You know, that's what they want. And
I agree totally. And you know, you walk such a fine line when you promote on Facebook. You know, the policies, you know, there's so many, and if you go at it from a performance affiliate perspective, and like you say, you read all these marketing books, and we all know what works, and focusing on pain points and calling out the audience, these things, you know, will get you on the wrong side of Facebook. And as you say, you know, all they want is the major brands, the Coca-Colas and things like that.
Like what happened, now sorry to interrupt, it goes in what you just said, is that in e-commerce, for example, our latest change on Facebook is that they don't like having a countdown on the product page. Like before, this was a trick which plays with the scarcity, you know, like in marketing books, they say that, you know, tell them that limited edition, there's only 3 left, you know, there's a limited time left. And they said that you cannot do that. That violates policy. That is tricking people, misleading people, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. That's a new change. But before we were able to milk that, like that would actually boost conversion rates, you know. But now we cannot do that. And that is how the industry is evolving. It's always becoming harder and harder due to their restrictions, you know.
Because of that then, Attila, do you do a lot of white hat marketing, or is it black hat?
Yeah, we do. We're doing more and more white hat marketing. We actually have a couple of our own lead generation offers.
Right.
And how that works is we actually have a call center. So we generate the lead by targeting really well on Facebook, for example, and then the lead comes in and our call center calls them and verifies the lead and the information, and then we sell the lead to the buyer as a qualified prospect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the flow, and that is real business. Like, but we already got banned on one account because they didn't like how we worded an ad, you know, and you email them, you're trying to appeal, and they're like, we can help you, you know, like, whatever, you violated policy, see you later, done, you know, like, they're not open, they don't care, you know, they
don't, and it's, I think it's almost a rite of passage. if you're any kind of marketer, you're going to see an account ban at some point, and there are ways to, you know, to get around that, providing you've not majorly broken a policy. You know, you can reach out to them, and I've heard stories of people just reaching out over and over again until eventually they reinstate your account, but that's not always.
Well, we have a rep, right, actually, and when we get an account banned, they just say, make a new account in your business manager. That's what they say. Yeah. And I heard the same story from the reps in San Francisco, because my reps are in Dublin, you know, so they're the Euro reps, but in San Fran, they also just say, I just make a new account. Like our systems are so complex, like our policy team is broken into 3 pieces. So if one hand says this, the other hand says different, then it no match, you know, like it's just easier to start from scratch again, sadly.
So you just create a new ad account within your Facebook Business Manager. What about credit cards? Do you use a different credit card each time for each ad account, or how does that work?
Well, how it works is that if you have a business manager and you have a real agency like I do, then you can have like 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 accounts in your business manager.
Okay.
And this is the funny thing. When they assign you, like you have to request, like if you open a new business manager, it's going to have 2 sub accounts that you can add, and that's it. You know, it's 2 out of 2 is your maximum.
Right.
What you have to do is after you use the 2 and you didn't get any suspended, you email them and say, hey, I want to add more clients. You know, we want to onboard more clients. can you give me more, accounts to add to my business manager? They'd be like, okay, sure, let me get back to you. So depending who's the person you talk to, you might get 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, or 10,000, so.
Right, I never knew that. So you're only initially allowed two accounts then with a business manager account.
Exactly. And so when you get the accounts, then you right away want to go in and get an assistant to create all the accounts that you can have. Because the thing is, if they ban one account in your business manager, it disables the button to add more sub-accounts. So you right away want to set up all the accounts. So if you have 1,000, you want to make all the 1,000 accounts, just have them there, because that's it. You only have one shot, So now in terms of the payment, we usually add one credit card for every account that we use, because they're usually the client cards, that we use for that project. And from our bank, like, we can get a different card for every project that we have. So for me, it's not a problem,
So by having an agency, it's definitely helped you mitigate some of the risk on Facebook, as you can create quite a few accounts for that. So going back to the lead generation side of things, obviously that's can be very compliant on Facebook and can be scaled quite easily. What core industries are you working with right now with that?
We are in the major in like in finance, we're in mortgages and insurance. Like, these are the main industries that we're in.
Okay.
We're basically running, for example, funeral insurance. Like, that is a big one for us. So we target people that are close to death, like, for being honest, like 70 plus.
Okay.
And then we say, like, we run an ad to them to secure, their loved one's future, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't give it away, but we go along different lines, pain points, and get them acting. And then they answer a short questionnaire, give us their details, and the call center calls them and verifies the lead, and then connects them with, an insurance supplier. And that's how it goes.
Is that through an affiliate network, or have you just done that directly with a company?
No, we have direct. We don't work with affiliate networks. Like, I did work with affiliate networks, but that's the middleman, right? Now, this year, we're stepping up our game and we're switching to offer owners. Like, we are the affiliate network. We own the offer. We own the relationship. Like, we're trying to clean out as much of the middleman as possible, because every single middleman takes away around 20 to 30% of your profit, so.
Yeah, and you're in control now too.
The control is one, and another thing is that foreseeing the future, CPMs on Facebook are rising, because Facebook is a corporation in the United States that needs to always make more money, and to do that, they can increase, the cost that they're charging for ads. Like, they're not drastically increasing the amount of people advertising, rather they're increasing how much they charge for ads, and they're making new products. So we have to, in my forecast for the future, there's a part that means that ad costs are going to rise. How can we stay competitive? And one of them is to cut out as much middlemen as possible, so that's how.
Yeah, it reminds me of that quote, your margin is my opportunity, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. But as you said, it makes a lot of sense. If you can cut out the affiliate network, if you're at that stage, then you're going to be able to bid more competitively. For most affiliates, they're going to be starting with a network. Is there any in particular that you recommend, Attila?
Well, there is a couple. Like, one of my favorites one is Ad Combo. Like, they're here in Europe. They're very good for like health and those kind of verticals. They have a lot of cash on delivery offers, which is really cool, because if you advertise these offers, they don't ask for a credit card from the customers, so you can have way higher conversion rates.
Sure.
That is one of my favorite ones. Another one is Kimia. Like, Kimia is actually home to a really cool thing, which a lot of newbies will like, is that they have this thing called a smart link. It lets you send traffic to one link, and they will optimize everything for you. Pick the best offer for the incoming traffic, depending on their device or operating system or screen resolution. Like, they have a million different criteria that they optimize on. So this way you can just focus on optimizing your traffic source to get the cheapest clicks and send it to them, and they optimize everything else so you can make the most money out of your traffic. So these two are really good right now that I like working with.
Yeah, I was going to say ClickBooth. They're another company that have got smart links that work the same way, and it definitely helps, especially when you're promoting an offer and the offer goes down. That they will automatically switch that offer to the next best offer.
Right.
And yeah, it works really, really well.
Yeah, those smart links are very awesome indeed.
Any tools that you would recommend that help you on a daily basis, Attila?
Yeah, well, actually, we use really high-end tools that cost 10K per month. But
Right.
I mean, I do recommend it. Like Similar Web Professional is something that we can't live without because it provides such good intel. Like with the pro version, you can request to have access to the most popular page on a website. So you can go to any page and see which one gets the most traffic, which ones are being visited the most. And this helps you uncover landing pages if you're running different offers. If you're getting into e-commerce, it lets you uncover the top performing products, because the theory is that if it has the most traffic, that means that they're paying money to get the traffic there, and they're not going to spend money to get traffic to something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Now another thing that I use, food products. Like we use spy tools, but I can't really name anything other than SimilarWeb because there's so many of them. And we have subscriptions to different ones. Like, for example, for display, like what runs where is something that we use. Then which ads work is another one that we use for Facebook. Another one that I use is the Hide My Ads proxy. That one is very useful because it lets you jump on like any kind of IP address and then manually spy. Like I wrote a guide on my blog about manually spying. It's pretty old now, but I mean, the lessons in it are still like valid today. So basically you connect to this proxy and you get an IP address in Guatemala, and then you set up your browser to pretend that it's an iPhone. You can check out a lot of offers and landers this way that spy tools that you might pay for don't pick up, because a lot of these like spy tools are being blocked, by different traffic sources and affiliates. Like they know that I don't want what runs where to see my ads, so they know how to block it because they have their IP addresses and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that one too. And the SimilarWeb one that you mentioned as well, that's also a really good tool. So we're going to move on to books. Is there a particular book that you would recommend to new affiliates?
There's that guy that always comes and does presentations in a lab coat at these STM events.
Yes.
His book is probably the best one.
Cashvertising.
Yeah. Cashvertising, that one's the best book ever.
Yeah, I love that book, and I can see it on my bookshelf now, actually. Drew Eric Whitman is the author of that one, and aka Dr. Direct. He worked in ad agencies for over 23 years, and there's just so much practical advice packed into this book. And if you're ever creating ad campaigns, ad copy, anything to do with marketing, you've just got to read this book. And it's the one, I mean, mine looks like it's been through a war zone. I've read it that many times. It's fantastic. So great recommendation there, mate. So I'm going to wrap things up now, Attila, and I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. You always have inspired me. I've spoken to you a few times in the past on SDM Forum, and I've looked at your blog, and I just love how you've taken things really to the next level with your business, and I'm sure it will inspire a lot of our listeners as well. So before we go, what's the best way to get in contact with you? Well, I know you've got your blog, iAmAttila.com, but you're also on Facebook as well.
I am, yeah. They can find me as iAmAttila on Facebook.
And if you want to meet Attila in person, he's going to be attending the Affiliate World Conference in Berlin on the 15th and 16th of June.
Yes, I will be there for sure. We actually have a private mastermind with my friend Tim Burd following the event. So it'll be on Friday and Saturday, right after Affiliate World Europe. And this mastermind is for advanced affiliates only that are stuck at a certain level. I want to get to the next because my friend that I'm organizing this with, he's an 8-figure per year super affiliate. Wow. And he's well known. He owns one of the biggest Facebook ad buyers group, the official one that actually has input from Facebook direct. It's called Facebook Ad Buyers on Facebook. You should join it if you're not a part of this one yet.
I'm part of that one, mate. I think it's 30,000 members at the moment as it stands, that one.
Exactly, yeah. Tim Burd owns it. And this guy, he spends millions per month. Yeah. And he's a guy that went from black to white. So all of this spent today is Whitehat. And he has incredible, tricks and tips to share, and that's why we're holding this mastermind. So It's for advanced affiliates, basically, or it's for people who are running Blackhat and they're sick of getting banned and they want to switch to the light side. So I highly recommend it.
Awesome. So there you have it, guys. If you're attending the Affiliate World Conference in Berlin, definitely hit up Attila and get in on that mastermind with Tim Burd of the Facebook Advise group. So just leaves me to say thank you so much for joining me, Attila. It was great to talk to you and learn a bit about your business and how you got involved with it. The retro porn stuff was definitely a curveball that I wasn't expecting, but thank you for sharing that story with us.
Thank you, Carl. It was my pleasure.
So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this, and thanks for joining me for another episode. Hope to see you on the next one, and please remember, if you see this on iTunes, to rate it and leave a quick review, and that will help me get this out to more people. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.